Hi there, it's Tony from lidl.doodle. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to go over some of my most used journaling supplies. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned journaler who loves new ideas for supplies, hopefully this video will be of interest to you or you'll get an idea of something to try out. I think when you're just starting out, it can be overwhelming or feel like you need to spend a bunch of money to make nice journals. And I think that there are some basics you can start with, and depending on what you like to work with, you can invest in products that best meet your needs. This community has such a diverse interest in supplies. I love trying out new ideas that others share and finding things that I can maybe use in my classroom or buy things that I might try out in my classroom for research. So I'm going to run through a few of my basics and a few things that I find myself using often and in a lot of different journals. So this pouch goes with me everywhere. It is my everyday carry. It goes to school with me. It goes on road trips with me. It doesn't have a brand name on it. I got it from a Japanese stationery store over in Portland. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and it's kind of a mess, but it carries everything. And these are items that I use on a daily basis. I will talk about the gel pens in just a second, but I carry a glue tape, I carry a whiteout, I carry a Blackwing pencil. They come in a lot of different leads and colors, and it has a little removable eraser that you can adjust. I carry a few of these clips, a plastic eraser. I have a micron in here. I always carry some kind of liner that's waterproof. I just happen to have the micron in here today. I know this is a real popular liner. This is not my favorite. I don't know that I have a favorite. I've tried out a few different ones. The microns tend to dry out pretty quickly for me, so they're not my favorite. I have these little, they're called Ollie clips, and they're super magnetic. I have a couple of those. I keep a white gel pen. This is a Feud pen, which is basically a brush pen with a little bit of a stiffer and smaller nib than normal brush pens. And I like this for my journals because brush pens I need a lot of space. But if I'm using a Feud pen, it doesn't need as much space, and I can do a little bit of brush lettering in a smaller space. So I do like these Feud pens, and I probably got this one off Amazon. This has a black tip on this side, and then it's got a gray tip on the other side. So it's kind of fun even for doing accents or shadows. That's what I use the gray side for. So that is the Feud pen. In here, it's got a little netted pouch. I've got a kneaded eraser for watercoloring and lifting up pencil. I keep a small little ruler. I think this is called a bone, and it's for transfer stickers, so that's just kind of handy. I have a Retro 51 rollerball pen, and this design was actually created by a fan, and Goldspot held a little contest, and so they picked a winner, and her design was printed on a little Retro 51 rollerball. So if you like rollerball pens, this is actually Retro 51 has a lot of cool designs. I also keep a little pair of scissors in here, and the funny story behind these scissors, I wanted some cool, small funky scissors, and I didn't know what like the type was called, so I was asking Google, what are some small, cool, funky scissors? And I just wasn't coming up with what I had in my head. And about a month ago, my daughter and I just happened to pop into this antique store, which we aren't antiquers, and it was just kind of a random stop. And they had a whole bunch of these different types of scissors. And so I grabbed these. They're so cool. These are crazy sharp. I use them for cutting stickers and trimming washi tape. And I find myself using these a lot more than I even thought I would. And it has this little plastic cover protector that I can't believe I haven't lost yet, but there it is. And I carry a cheapy little water brush for watercolor. It's kind of funny, I, over the years, have invested in some really nice watercolor brushes. This tends to be my go-to, and I have about 4 or 5 of them stashed in different places, but I always carry one with me. And then finally, my gel pens that are just my everyday writers. So even, you know, if I'm just making a quick list or writing a pass for a student, I will go for this guy. It is the, let's see, Sarasa, Zebra Sarasa 1.0, and it is such a great writer. I always have at least 2. You can see I'm almost done with this one. I buy these just in boxes from Amazon. So this is a great gel pen if you like thick gel pens. This is also a Zebra. It's a 0.7. Let's see. Oh, there it is. And it's a dry. So it's supposed to dry really quickly, which is good, I guess, for lefties. I'm an underwriter, so I don't have that problem as much as people who write kind of over writers and then they end up dragging the ink. I mean, it's okay. It's a little bit of a thinner line. It's 0.7, so it's okay. So yeah, so this is a really handy, I like the shape of it. I like that I can just pop this open on my desk and it's got a little bit of everything. Oh, I also have a plastic bag in here. And if you watched my last video where I showed my ink swatches, and you may have noticed I had like ink splatters, I do that with the plastic bag, and maybe I'll do a demonstration on that sometime. So that's why I have a plastic bag in here, is if I'm playing around with inks. So yes, this is my everyday carry. I would be super bummed if I lost it or misplaced it or any of those things. So talking about pen storage, this is something that I grabbed, and I didn't think I would use it as much as I do. It's by Estabrook, and I think I got it at Gold Spot. It has a flat bottom that's pretty sturdy. It has these 2 little faux leather straps that you pull and undo, and then it has a snap, and then you unsnap it and you roll it down, and it holds 6 pens or whatever. I carry my fountain pens in this to and from school, so I'll throw my pens in here and throw this in my bag, and then when I get to school, it literally just sits on my desk like this, and my students know, hands off. They don't mess with this. So again, and it's got kind of a suede feeling inside, and then these little dividers. The whole thing will come out, but I'm not going to take it out. So this is a really handy everyday carry for my fountain pens, and I normally just take 6 to work, and then it just does that, and then it stands by itself. So it's kind of cool, and it's like a canvasy type material, so it feels pretty sturdy. Again, that's Estabrook. I really like this. Another carrying item that I have is this rickshaw bags. I just need to give a shout out to this company. They are fantastic. It's a small business in San Francisco, and the owner is super responsive. I had seen this pattern on their Instagram, but I couldn't find it on their website, and so I messaged him, and he got right back to me and sent me the link. I ordered both myself and my husband one of these pouches, and I absolutely love it. It came with a single pen sleeve, and then I purchased the 3-pen sleeve in this design, and it has this nice like velvety plush material inside, and it holds 3 pens, and it's sewn separately so your pens aren't touching. So I will, if we're gonna go on a beach weekend or times that we've gone on vacation on the plane, I'll throw a lot of supplies in this pouch. It's pretty roomy in there. I keep some postcards and stickers and journaling things that I collect just for later use. And then I put a couple of my little field notes notebooks in there, and I've always got lots of writing materials and surfaces in this guy. Another item that I purchased from Rickshaw bags or items were these 2 pouches. I bought the green one for myself and the blue one for my husband. He has his field notes here, and then he puts some fountain pens. This has got a stitched 3 pen holder, and then he just has his little Kavekos down here, and then it's got another pouch over here, and it's like a velvety plush inner thing, and I love that design. It's so much fun. I keep some traveling watercolor supplies in mine, so I've got some brushes and another brush pen, a little squirt bottle, and then this is the card that I have that tells me the colors that I filled my little travel watercolor palette with. And this, I got this from the Travelers Company, and you can fill up the paints, and then there's a little mixing palette there. It's super easy to clean. And then you've got some little travel watercolors. So that's what I use this Rickshaw bag for. And I don't take it with me unless we're going out of town or going to the beach, or, you know, if I think I'm going to be going somewhere and watercoloring, which I don't know where that might be in my head. But anyway, so I do use that for some travel watercolor. Another thing that I use are pencil boards, and these work really well for my Hobonichi A6 because that paper is so thin that sometimes if I am a heavy hand, if I'm writing with a heavy hand or writing with a gel pen or even some of my fountain pens, it'll imprint on the next page. And so if I stick a little pencil board in there, it helps give it a sturdier surface. I got this one off of Etsy. It's called Evelyn T Designs, and I'm pretty sure this is her original art, and she laminated it. And then this one is from the official Hobonichi website, and you can see like that's all my ink. It's not the actual pencil board. It's kind of a mess. So these get used very often, and if you don't like that imprint on the next page, I would recommend even making one out of cardstock, or if you have access to a laminator, you could do some fun paper and just laminate your own size. The next thing that's pretty popular in the journaling community is mild liners. And I really like these. I carry them in this little pouch, and it's kind of clicks open and has a magnet down here. I use these quite a bit, but then I discovered that Sharpie has a line of, it's called the S Note, and Sharpie has a line of these similar type markers, and they have more colors. So I grabbed this, and I usually keep this one at school, and then I keep this one at home. If I'm traveling somewhere, obviously I'll take this because this is really kind of bulky. These tend to ghost a little bit more on the page. It doesn't bother me too much, but if I'm using them a lot, or if I'm coloring something in, like on a mark making page, I definitely need to make sure I'm not worried about the page, the back of that page. So, but I really think mild liners or some type of like soft colors can really accent your journals. I do a lot with them. I will do borders, or I'll go over, once your ink is super dry, go over, you know, words or whatnot. But yeah, so I got these off of Amazon, And these I've had forever. I don't remember. You can get them anywhere. Any craft store has them. I think some like Walmart, Amazon, or Target, those types of places probably have them too. I know that I've talked a lot about Leuchtturm notebooks, and I do love them. However, these Rhodia, they're hand stitched or orange stitched, I can't remember exactly what they're called, are so nice. They're thin, and the cover is this just really soft material, and I think there's probably 80 pages in here. I buy the dotted. I don't even know if they make them in lined or plain, but I'll try to find a link. They come in all these great colors, but I started noticing that retailers were not replenishing the colors, and so I'm thinking maybe Rhodia isn't making them anymore, and I bought a whole bunch of these because we use them for a lot of different things. If I know I'm going to do a workshop, or if I want just a notebook dedicated to something that's going to be small, I'll grab one of these out of the drawer. If I have a student who's showing an earnest, interest in journaling, I will gift them one of these, because I think that the fact that it's not a Leuchtturm with 200 and some odd pages makes it a little less intimidating. So I do love these Rhodias. And then finally, I'm going to just share, this is my travel watercolor palette. It's Sennelier, I think that's how you say it. And it has been a fantastic little set. It's kind of a mess right now, but it has this pull-out plastic palette, and the kit starts off with, it comes with all the little pre-wrapped cakes, but I've used this so much that I've had to buy bottles to refill, or I'm sorry, tubes to refill all of the different colors, because I use this so often. It goes with me everywhere. At one point I thought I had lost it when I had taken it on vacation, and I couldn't find it when we got back, and I panicked. But it is a great starter kit. It is a little bit costly, but I think it is worth it. The watercolors are so well behaved on so many different kinds of paper. I don't have any problems with these. I think there's like some kind of mixture of honey and some other materials that just really, the colors are vibrant. And like I said, I have used it on all kinds of paper, and in my journal, and watercolor paper and not watercolor paper, and it handles really well. So those are just some basic things that I carry with me often or every day. I think if you are just getting started with journaling and you just want some basic things, you don't have to go spend a lot of money or go crazy on journaling supplies. I think that it's a lot of fun to go crazy on journaling supplies, but I think it can also be overwhelming and definitely can get expensive. So yeah, so hopefully there's something in there that you might find interesting, or maybe even go seek out for yourself. I'll try to put links in the description of as many of the things that I showed. So for the pen spotlight for today, I am spotlighting the Kaweco AL Sport in Very Perry, which is a Goldspot Pens exclusive. The Kaweco is a small pen. It's a pocket pen, and it does post to a nice size. However, I don't typically post my pens. I have decently small hands. It doesn't bother me that it's this short, and I usually use the cap as like a fidget while I'm writing. So I don't even like to post pen, even a small pen. The finish has like a brushed aluminum, and it's really soft, and just if you're a fidgeter, it's kind of fun to have something to play with. This is a bold nib, broad nib on this, stainless steel, and it is filled with Diamine Solar Storm, which was one of the inks from the Ink Event calendar I think last year, and it has some great shimmer in it. You can see that at the bottom where it's kind of collected, and my broad nib on this handles it really well. It doesn't clog up at all. It's a smooth writer. There's a tiny little bit of feedback that you might hear, but that doesn't bother me at all. So there you have it, the Kaweco AL Sport, and they do have other colors. This just jumped out to me when Goldspot released it last year. I'm not sure if they still have it on the website. They might be sold out, I don't know, because it wasn't exclusive, but the Kaweco AL Sport is a great little pen. So, all right, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them and put links in the description. All right, thanks so much and have a great day.